Let's go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Matchup Maximizer, a podcast presented by Keeping Karlsson, where I, Elan Dubrovsky, look at the next week's NHL schedule and help you come up with players that you may want to stream in to your fantasy team to be successful in your head-to-head matchups. This is, I guess, the first official episode of the Matchup Maximizer of the season. Brian and I did a show together looking at the first week of the season, but that week is almost done, and hopefully you are doing well, and it's time to look towards week 2, or maybe second half of week 1, if you're playing on a platform outside of Yahoo. But on Yahoo, we're going to week 2, and the purpose of this podcast is, like I said, we need to look at which teams are playing a lot of games, which teams aren't playing a lot, and also beyond just like the quantity of games, it's also the quality of the days that they're playing. In terms of if there's, for example, a team playing 3 times, except one of those times is on this upcoming Saturday, the 21st of October, it's not going to be too useful for you to pick up a player from that team because you're not going to get that game because there's already 30 teams playing. All but 2 of the teams are playing. Just Calgary and New Jersey are taking Saturday off, which means your roster will probably already be full. So I'm going to be looking at days that or teams that have a lot of games next week, and also hopefully a lot of light day games, so that when you add those players from free agency, you'll be able to put them onto your roster. I'm going to be using Yahoo percent rostered to sort of get a gauge of what players might be available for you in your leagues. So I'll look at some, shallower league streamers and then some deeper league streamers. We'll kind of go through. This is also, by the way, a stream of consciousness type of podcast. This isn't like the Sunday show where Brian and I do a ton of prep. So I'm just kind of looking at things and figuring it out as we go. We're looking at it together, trying to come up with some good streamers for next week. And I hope that you'll like it. I'm also recording from a different setup. I'm just putting all my excuses out right at the start. I'm not in my normal office. We're visiting family in Ottawa. So I tried to set things up well enough that I'll be able to give you something useful going into those matchups starting next week. So, okay. And also I should mention that I'm recording this on Saturday afternoon. So I'm not going to have access to the data for the Saturday night games. So, if I mention a player and then he ends up getting injured, obviously don't grab that player. But okay, let's take a look at the schedule for next week. Okay, so there are only 3 teams that play 4 times. And then most of the league plays 3 times. And then we've got 5 teams playing 2 times. So the teams playing 4 times are Arizona, Calgary, and Detroit. So, like, for example, I have an open D spot in Cupful, the Keeping Karlsson Ultimate Patron Fantasy League. I only have 3 D right now. So if I want a defenseman, I don't care what days these teams are playing, right? Because I'm going to get 4 games. It doesn't matter. But again, if it's a roster spot where, you already are full and you might already fill in some days, we want to look at light days. The team that plays 4 times and also has 3 light days, that brings us down to 2. So Arizona's 4 games, they're Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So pretty much only Monday and Tuesday you'll be able to fit your players in, most likely. And Tuesday, by the way, I should probably give a rundown of the week. Okay, so next week, it's a typical fantasy week, basically. Tuesday's a little light. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, those are light days, okay? Then Tuesday's pretty light. There's 18 teams playing, so only 9 games. You'll probably be able to fit someone in. And then Thursday and Saturday are stacked. Very unlikely you'll be able to fit someone in. 24 teams playing Thursday, 30 teams playing on Saturday. So, as I was saying, Arizona goes Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So while they're not great in terms of number of light days, they are great because they play Monday, Tuesday, right? So that could be a pretty good thing. If you have room for Monday and Tuesday, you could add a player and then drop them for someone that has more off-day games later in the week, and you could really make a lot. You could say maximize that roster spot. So maybe let's just look at Arizona. The other teams, by the way, Calgary and Detroit, they both play 4 times and on 3 off days. So that's really nice. And actually, Calgary, I'm going to say, has the best schedule of the week because they're not even playing on that Saturday. They're going Monday and then Thursday, where maybe you have space. I don't know. 24 teams playing. It's possible. Monday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday. So Calgary, the best schedule. But I promised that we'll go to Arizona. So let's go there first. They just defeated New Jersey in a shocker to start the season on Thursday. So that was pretty exciting. Nick Schmaltz had a huge game. Keller was good, of course. He's not available in any leagues. Logan Cooley only rostered in... Okay, I've got it listed here. So Logan Cooley is rostered in 39% of leagues. So I think in most serious leagues, you're going to expect Cooley to be rostered. But if he's still out there for you, I would definitely grab him for the Monday, Tuesday. And I think you might end up deciding to hold him for the season. He had 2 assists in that first game. He's on that top power play. And I think there's a lot more to come. Like he seems like he's ready to just come into the league and start dominating. So yeah, cool. And then Nick Schmaltz, I never get it. Last year, every time I did this show, at some point I had to just stop. Like Nick Schmaltz is only rostered in 29% of leagues. He's coming off a game where he had a goal and an assist. Yeah, grab Nick Schmaltz and hold him for the season. I don't get it. Okay, so yeah, Monday, Tuesday, sure, that's great, but I think he's a hold. So okay, and Jersey, by the way, if he's still out there, he's good. But that's more of just general fantasy advice. We want to look at streamers. Okay, players maybe you'll only add for those couple days. I'll say Barrett Hayton is another person. He's only rostered in 15% of leagues. He's on the top line with Keller and Schmaltz. He's on the top power play. He didn't get any points in that game on Thursday, but he did have 4 shots. So Barrett Hayton's also like probably a grab and hold in most leagues. But if you're in a super shallow league and Hayton isn't someone that you would generally hold, definitely grab him for the Monday, Tuesday. That's like an awesome stream. And then I guess you'll have someone else that you'll be able to grab for another day. If we want to go a little deeper than that, then it gets kind of tough because the top 2 lines are, like we said, Keller, Schmaltz, and Hayton. And then you've got Cooley, Zucker, and Alex Kerfoot. And Alex Kerfoot, I can't recommend. Look, he's on a line with some good players, but he just doesn't do anything. Like, he doesn't shoot, he doesn't do anything. So I'd say, probably Jason Zucker is the guy that you could stream in for those Monday, Tuesday games. He's 21% roster, so it's not the deepest of deep cuts, but there's someone. Maybe for a super deep cut, I could say Alex Kerfoot, so you could look at him. If you think maybe he can pass to Logan Cooley, who will do something, or Zucker, you could look at a Matt Dumba, who scored a goal. If you need D, for maybe you're actually full on the Tuesday, Dumba could be good. I don't know. Nick Bjugstad actually also took 4 shots in that game, so he's in the bottom 6, but could be someone to look at. Okay, so that's Arizona. Let's look at the team with the best schedule of the week, the Calgary Flames. And the thing with Calgary is they keep on switching up those lines, making it very difficult for us. Going into today's game, Saturday, which maybe by the time that we're looking at the following week, when we're looking at Monday, the lines are going to be different again. But now we're back to Mangiapane on the top line, just like we were at the end of preseason. So I don't know if Andrew Mangiapane is available in your league. He's definitely not available in my Cupful division, but with Calgary having the best schedule of the week. So again, it's Monday, then Thursday, Friday, Sunday, skipping the busy Saturday. Definitely Mangiapane is an obvious choice. He's only rostered in 35% of Yahoo leagues, so he's probably the streamer of the week. If he's going to hold this spot on the top line, then definitely you want Mangiapane playing with Huberdeau and Lindholm. And then the rest of the lines for today's game, according to GameDayTweets.com, tweet from Eric Francis. I don't know. That's really, actually, it's pretty shallow. I don't know. Kadri is centering Dubé and Ruzicka. So Dubé, I guess, is someone you could look at. Dylan Dubé didn't do too much in his first game. Took a shot, blocked a couple, which is nice. Everyone's losing their mind over Matt Coronado. Didn't do too much. He did take 3 shots in that first game. Not loving this deployment here with Backlund and Coleman. And then Sharon Govich, you could forget about him. So, yeah, I guess Mangiapane. Look at Coronado because everyone says he's so great. Probably next I'd go with a Backlund or a Coleman, even ahead of Dylan Dubé. I just don't really have the faith in Dubé that I guess some people do. But then on defense, Noah Hannafin is solid. He got a point in that first game. He's actually rostered in 51% of leagues. Maybe he's not available to you. And then after that, and obviously Rasmus Anderson isn't available. So it gets pretty shallow pretty quickly. So probably one of the players I named, Blake Coleman. I don't know. He always just seems reliable for something. He took a couple shots in the first game. I'll bet you he'll score a goal and have an assist at least in 4 games. Which is, think of it, if you're comparing a goal and an assist from Coleman in 4 games to someone playing 3 games, a goal and assist is a lot harder to come by in only 3 games, and you could just increase your odds by getting 4. So that's Calgary. Then and by the way, Calgary does have a back-to-back on Thursday, Friday. So if you want to get, that's Thursday against Buffalo and then Friday against Columbus. So it might be a good Dan Vladar stream against the I don't know. I want to say lowly Columbus Blue Jackets, but to be honest, they have some really good players. Their offense is really good. So it's definitely not going to be a cakewalk, but a potential stream for you there. Okay, and then I mentioned the Detroit Red Wings. They are the other team that plays 4 times, and Detroit is also a team that has been shaking around those lines quite a bit, to the chagrin and then sometimes happiness of Lucas Raymond managers. We've got tweets from yesterday, from Friday, which saw practice lines. And again, we're going to have a whole game, so you don't have to go by this. You could actually go look at the final results. Odd Game Day tweets, by the way, for each team, we link to the Frozen Tools page, which actually shows the lines from the last game and not just the tweets. You'll be able to see how it actually turned out. But we were looking at DeBrincat, Larkin, and Raymond, and then Perron, Comfer, and Fabry were your top 6 guys there. Rasmussen, we can forget about him for now. So that kind of hurts your streaming ability, right? When they were spreading things around a little bit more. Maybe like a Rasmussen looked like a potentially appealing stream, when he was playing with Dylan Larkin and Alex DeBrincat. At this point, like if you're looking at players that are less than 50% rostered on Yahoo, you do have actually Lucas Raymond at 40%. So I guess a lot of people weren't too happy. He didn't do anything in the first game, just a shot and a hit against New Jersey. But he's a high pedigree guy, and he looks like, for now at least, he has a good spot in the lineup. So definitely with Detroit going into the week with a really awesome schedule, they play Columbus on Monday, then Pittsburgh Wednesday, then Ottawa and Calgary on Saturday, Sunday. So I do like also the 2 early games. You could always change your mind if you're not happy after those games, and Columbus is a team that you can score some goals against. So yeah, definitely grab Lucas Raymond if he's out there. And I guess grab JT Compher is the next best, 25% rostered. So if he's there, he's centering that second line. He had an assist in the first game. So if Compher's centering the second line on Yahoo, Compher is left wing, right wing. What are they doing? He's a center. They picked 2 of the 3 and they got it wrong. For now, I guess we'll see. Daniel Sprong is also someone that, like, last year he kept on doing stuff in Seattle, and now he's here and he actually scored a goal in his first game. So he's still kind of like doesn't get the best deployment, but Daniel Sprong knows how to score some clutch goals. So I guess take a look at him if you're in a super deep league. He's only rostered in 5% of leagues. I also really like Jake Wellman. I'll just throw it out there. Like, especially if you're in a categories league, he had 3 shots, 4 blocks. He's not like amazing for hits, but with all those shots, like he had an assist in that first game of the season. Well, I'm talking about Wallman. He had 4 blocks. So yeah, Wallman is definitely someone in a categories league, but also in a points league like the Cupful. The blocks alone will probably get you to like a really solid floor. So you have a lot of really nice options over in Detroit. So there you go. Those are our 3 teams with the best schedules: Arizona, Calgary, and Detroit. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, I'll take a look at some of the teams that play 3 times, but with at least a couple of off-day games, and maybe early in the week is what we'll try to look for especially. So we'll figure this out as we go. We'll be back in just a sec. All right, we are back with the Matchup Maximizer podcast. Hopefully people have been enjoying my first 11 minutes of rambling. So let's see here. We're now going to look at teams who play 3 times next week, but have at least 2 light days. You're going to at least get 2 games out of the people that you add. And by the way, we're only counting Thursday and Saturday as heavy days. So if they get into any other day, we're calling that a light day, including Tuesday, which maybe is borderline. Like I said, there's 18 teams playing. In most leagues, in my couple division, I'm able to fit in a 4. But obviously, you need to check for yourself. Don't just like take my word and be like, oh, it's a light. This person plays 2 light days. I should add him. And then realize, oh, I can't fit this person in on Tuesday. You blew it if you do that. So, okay, we've got 4 teams that play 3 times on 2 light days. There's a lot of teams that you're not getting much out of if you're streaming from. So it kind of makes it easy. You get to sort of cut your options. Though keep in mind, it is like early in the season, and it is a really good time to pick up a gem that will end up being a hold. Like I'm looking at like a Marchenko on Columbus who's getting that good deployment. Like even though Columbus doesn't have, they actually are one of the teams that have the 2 light days. Maybe this isn't the best example. But like maybe now's the time when people are staying away from someone because of a bad schedule. You jump on that player, you hold that player for the rest of the season. But again, that's more for the Sunday show Brian and I will do tomorrow, where we'll talk about some players who are really catching our eyes, not caring about the schedule. But for today, like I said, 4 teams that play 3 times, but 2 of them are light days, and they are Columbus, New Jersey, the Islanders, and Washington. And actually, I lied because New Jersey only plays 2 times, not 3 times, but they are 2 light days. So who cares? There's no difference, right? Like you could say, oh, Washington is better because they play 3 times, except that their 3 times include Saturday, where you're not going to fit the Washington person in either. With New Jersey, you might look at them and be like, oh no, only 2 games, but they're Monday, Friday, and then you're done. So you could pick someone else up for the weekend. Let's say you have an open goalie on Saturday, drop the New Jersey person you added and grab a goalie. Then you'll also have room to try to get someone on Sunday. So New Jersey actually is a sneaky, like not bad schedule next week for a week with 2 games. I wish all the times one of my players was playing only 2 times in a week. I wish it was like New Jersey with 2 off day games. So let's start there. Actually, the Devils, so many good players that are not available to you because everyone wants all of the awesome high-powered Devils players. You're not going to get Hughes, Hamilton, Meyer, Heishier, Bratt, Foley, Luke Hughes. Luke Hughes is rostered in 86% of leagues I'm seeing now. I love Luke Hughes like as a prospect, but he's played 2 games and he still doesn't have a point. And he's not on the top power play. I know they've kind of like looks like they have 2 split power plays, but really the Jack Hughes power play is I'm just saying like Luke Hughes probably shouldn't be rostered in so many leagues. No offense. One day for sure. Dawson Mercer in 71% of leagues, probably also someone that's going to be starting to go down. If Dawson Mercer gets dropped in your league and you have time to still add him, then grab him for the Monday because he's a good player. But yeah, 71%, I'm surprised. Okay, then we still have a bunch of guys in the lower percent rostered level. And I guess we need to be looking at that third line, the Palat, Haula, and Holtz line. That's where maybe you're going to find some gems. And I guess the one player there that's not only on that line, but also getting some power play time is Andre Palat. So yeah, I'm not like the biggest Andre Palat fan. And again, I've already told you a bunch of players from Calgary, Arizona, and Detroit who I'd prefer. But if you want to get in on the Monday, Friday, I think Palat is your top streamer on New Jersey for what it's worth. And by the way, if you streamed in Palat or some New Jersey Devil for their Thursday, Friday from this past week and everything okay, time to move on, at least hold for the Monday. I think that's generally a good strategy. If you could stream someone that has a good schedule and plays Monday the following week, then you're getting yourself started, and then you can move on Tuesday to someone else. So if you already have Palat and you're like, okay, he was fine, he had 1 assist in the 2 games, I'd still hold him for Monday if you can afford it. Obviously, if you need to focus on winning this week, that's a whole other story. But okay, so Palat's there, Holtz. Jonas Siegenthaler had a really great first game, 3 assists in the win over Detroit. I don't expect that to keep up, but he had 3 blocks in the next game against Arizona. So 3 blocks in each game. So Siegenthaler seems like he might be a solid peripherals guy if you want to go that way. But usually defense doesn't even really matter for streaming, right? Because most people have open D spots even on busy days, because most people have like maybe at most like 4D for the 4 spots. But anyways, he's someone I should at least mention. I don't even know if I'm going to bring him up for the Sunday game. I think that was just a fluke, that 3 assist game that came up. Alex Holtz is like not looking that great. Like he has had a great opportunity. He was looking like he was even going to be on the top 6 at some point, but now we've had 2 games, and in each game he had only 1 shot. He only played 9 minutes and 8 seconds in the loss to Arizona. So I think Alex Holtz, if you have him, I think drop him, and I think that he's not worth streaming or looking at. Probably just Palat or Haula. Okay, so yeah, Eric Haula is the other one. I would go, so Palat and Haula. Of the people that you might be able to add forwards, you can't get anyone in the top 6, then yeah, grab Haula, who scored a goal. I'd probably go Palat over Haula because of the power play, like I was saying, but probably it's a coin flip either way. All right, so the other teams I was going through, there's 3 more teams that I can talk about that play 3 times in the week, but at least with 2 off-day games. So next we could go to the New York Islanders, who are generally not too exciting to stream from, though there is one guy that isn't rostered very much, and I'm kind of into him. It's Kyle Palmieri. He's been playing on the top power play in camp, so we'll have to see. The Islanders haven't even played a game yet, so we're going to see their first action today against Buffalo after I'm done recording. But yeah, Kyle Palmieri had a strong end to last season. He's playing on the second line with Nelson, which isn't too bad of a place to be. So Palmieri's only rostered in 1% of leagues. The Islanders play Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. It's not even the most amazing schedule, but if you have an opening on Tuesday, you want to get in on this potential upside of Palmieri on the top power play. He's bumped Anders Lee. Anders Lee, by the way, rostered in 47% of leagues, and Kyle Palmieri rostered in 1% of leagues. I say maybe not flip it, but Anders Lee is playing on a line with Peugeot and Fasching, bottom 6, while Palmieri is playing with Nelson and Engvall. I don't know. Islanders are crazy. They always put some random guy. Even on the top line in practice, it's been Horvat, Barzal, and Holmstrom. What's his first name? Holmstrom. Simon, I think. Simon Holmstrom. I'm trying to look here. Is he even listed? Oh, yeah, Simon Holmstrom. 0% rostered, by the way, according to Yahoo. I guess they rounded down. So Palmieri's like decent. Like maybe I'll bring him up on the Sunday show, depending on, we'll see what he does today. If he does something today, you'll hear about him again tomorrow, and I'll ask Brian, and he'll say, Kyle Palmieri, sometimes he's hot, like he's not going to be a whole, I know what he's going to say. He'll be like, yeah, but he's worth a shot. Like he likes him, but he's not going to, it'll be the right answer, of course. But maybe grab him for those 2 off day games next week. I think that's it. Honestly, like Peugeot's like always like someone who does something sometimes, but not especially exciting. And this isn't the best schedule. We're kind of getting to the dregs of the schedule here. I don't know why I'm even doing it. I don't need to fill this time, right? It's supposed to be a short show, but I'll just finish. I'll finish where I started. Columbus has Monday, Friday, Saturday. A lot of interesting stuff going on in Columbus. I'll bet you the lines will change again. The projected lines for today: Fantilli being bumped up to the top line with Laine still centering and Texier. This is according to the Columbus Blue Jackets Twitter account. Laine centering Fantilli. I thought it was supposed to be the flip, but whatever. Maybe they'll switch around. And then Marchenko with Jenner and Gaudreau, which I think a lot of people might consider the top line. I don't know. So either way, it'll probably be pretty even ice time. And then we have the bottom six there. So obviously the guys here. So in your super deep leagues, you're looking at like a Texier playing with Laine and Fantilli. And Texier, I'm sure, isn't rostered in any leagues. I've never seen any league of the ones that I'm in that Texier is rostered. So you could definitely get him if you're in super deep. But if you can get Kirill Marchenko, who's rostered in only 8% of leagues, jump on him. If you can get a Fantilli, who's rostered in 44% of leagues, jump on him. Boone Jenner, actually only rostered in 36, so definitely jump on him as well. So, and then I guess we should talk about the defense. I don't think we've seen yet who's going to be quarterback in the top power play because Zach Werenski is injured, but all of the defensemen are available in most leagues for Columbus. So you can take a look at Provorov, who's good for a peripheral, so you got the floor, and I think he was on the top power play. Yeah, he was. He was on the top power play for the last game after the injury, but of course that doesn't necessarily mean he'll be there again, but he was there. So for example, like on Chicago, Andreas Athanasiou took over for Taylor Hall after Hall got injured. And then on short shifts, Shams and Jeremy were saying, okay, so maybe grab Athanasiou. But already lines came out since they recorded that, and it was actually Taylor Radish. So sometimes the coach just has to make a quick decision for one game. It's not going to be how things are going to shake out for the next game once they're able to call someone up from the minors. Provorov's there. He should be a decent bet. Honestly, like even without top power play, just because of the peripherals. Damon Severson, Juracek has been called up, so it'll be one of those three. I guess Boqvist is also there. Theoretically, he could be on the top power play. So you could look out for that and then stream in a Columbus guy, at least to get the Monday, right? Monday, then you're waiting all the way till Friday. But if you're full on Thursday and there's not many options on Wednesday, maybe it is worth just holding till Friday and then drop before the Saturday game. So Columbus, and then one more team, Washington. Actually, Washington's a good one because they go Monday, Wednesday. Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. So you could stream someone in from Washington for Monday, Wednesday, and then you move on to someone who has a good schedule later in the week. Like, for example, we talked about Detroit. Or no, not Detroit. Detroit's Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday. So it was Calgary, right? Calgary goes Monday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday. So theoretically, you get a Washington person, get your Monday, Wednesday, then swap for Calgary, get Thursday, Friday, Sunday. 5-game week, baby. That's pretty good. So that's the strategy. But the question is who to grab from Washington. They just got shut out by Tristan Jarry. So, I don't even know. I don't know who to recommend. I guess Kuznetsov's fallen, eh? Only 32% rostered for good reason. But so really, it's at this point, you can grab Kuznetsov, you can grab Dylan Strome. I can't even tell you who is going to be on what line. I'll bet you they're going to switch things up for that next game after how things shaked out. Oshie, honestly, Nicholas Backstrom, it's kind of sad, right? He had a cardio session in his last game. No shots, no hits, no blocks, no nothing. So that was disappointing to see. Maybe he'll do something. But I'd go Oshie, Strome, or Kuznetsov if they're available before Nicholas Backstrom. Then if you want to go super deep, I mean, you don't really have to go super deep. I don't know. Is there any? There's no other names. I have nobody for you except for those ones. But Connor McMichael, maybe he didn't take a shot in the last game, so forget him. All right, so there we go. There you have it. Those are some players. Hopefully, of all the names I've thrown out at you, someone has jumped out at you as someone that's available in your league that you might want to stream in to get that good schedule. If you want to look at players to avoid, or specifically if you have a player on your team that you maybe need to drop, St. Louis has the worst schedule of the week. I'll just throw it out there. They play Thursday, Saturday 2 times and only on the 2 busy days. So if you have like a fringe St. Louis guy, I'm trying to think. So obviously I wouldn't consider the top line fringe, but let's say if you have like a Kevin Hayes or a Verana or my guy Sammy Blais, who, by the way, I like Sammy Blais a lot. He had an assist and 6 hits in that first game versus Dallas. He just continues to produce. But, if you streamed him in, it's hard to justify holding him unless maybe it's a categories league and hits are counted. Then you hold him all season because he's going to be he's going to win that week for you, or he's going to win that category for you week in, week out. But yeah, so probably you're dropping your fringe St. Louis guys because of that bad schedule. Then everyone else at least plays on the Tuesday, if nothing else. So, you can maybe after Tuesday, there'll be a lot of people that become like the exact same as St. Louis, and you could drop them because you're not going to get any more games out of them. Tampa's going to be a tough one. Nick Paul, we'll definitely talk about him tomorrow, but the big exciting hero to start the season with this huge game and getting on top power play, Tampa Bay just Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So you might not fit Nick Paul in for any games. Then it becomes a tough question. Do I hold him? But he might be a season hold. That's what makes the early part of the season tough. But Brian and I, again, will dive into everything that's gone on in this first week tomorrow and try to tease out what's for real and what's not. So make sure you're subscribed to Keeping Karlsson so that you'll get that show and all of our other great shows, including the short shifts that are coming out twice a week. Jeremy, Shams, and Lewis are just already in mid-season form, I think, in the shows that they've done leading up to the season. And then that first one from Shams and Jeremy from a couple days ago. It was really fun to listen to that. So yeah, we're going to just be packed with episodes all throughout the season. And so yeah, subscribe to Keeping Karlsson wherever you get your podcasts. We would love your support as a patron. If you would be so kind, just check it out, keepingkarlsson.com/patron. The nice thing about Patreon is you sign up to become a patron, you get the perks, you get in our community on Discord, you see what you think, ask some advice questions. If you don't like it, you just cancel. There's no commitment, right? You gave us $5 and maybe you'll like it. You want to stick around. We have a lot of fun perks. You'll see all the information at keepingkarlsson.com/patron. But I guess I am done here. This has been a lot of fun. I love talking about hockey, even to myself. Hopefully you, the listener, found it tolerable as well. Okay. Good luck to everyone for the rest of your week this week. And then good luck next week. Hopefully you get some good streamers. Tweet at us at Keeping Karlsson. Let us know if you ended up grabbing anyone because of our recommendation. Then we can all hold hands and hope together that it turns out okay for you. See you tomorrow for the Mega Show. Very excited for that. Bye.